Former Flat Earthers. What made you come round? I watched a documentary about flat earthers called Truth Behind the Curve, and my analysis from watching that these flat earthers are a group of people who found a community to be a part of. It's a shame their community is based on a lie, but I saw a bunch of people who were to be part of a community. Most of the people were social awkward and whatnot, and so an opportunity to be an influential figure within the community, so they double down on their flawed logic. The more against you are of them, the harder they rep their flatness. TLDR, I see flat earthers as a group of lonely people looking for a community that will accept them. Edit, WTF, did not expect this comment to blow up. Thanks for the silver, and the dialogue everyone. Was friend to a flat earther a couple of years ago before the time when they came up with the idea that Australia was not real and it's just a hoax by the British government. Fast forward to the time when they finally came up with that shit. Needless to say, this flat earther had a sudden change of heart. At first it didn't process to him that Australia is just a hoax, that it's not real. Then finally came to his senses that the earth is round, and he's been a moron for being a flat earther. Reason for his roundabout? We live in Australia. Did any of you former flat earthers just believed because you wanted to be unique and different from everyone else? I suspect that some people who deny shit like this are the same people who just wants to be different. They'll say they disliked a movie because the majority likes it. They'll say they don't enjoy a type of food cause most do. Basically. I once had a conversation with a professional UFC fighter and outspoken flat earther. I tried to explain how Archimedes was able to prove the earth was round just by using his shadow. I mentioned air travel and how Hawaii and Japan are not 20+ hours of flying apart. But what I think got through to him the most was seasons. This particular guy was Brazilian. I explained that because the earth is round, it's possible to be winter in Brazil and summer in the USA and vice versa. He nodded and stared off into the distance silently, and the conversation was over. I don't think I converted him, but it gave him significant pause at the very least. It took about 5 years. It was a lot of willful ignorance on my part. I just refused to question the logic of it. In fact, I spent most of my time coming up with crazy fantasies about a lot of things I didn't understand. But you have to understand that there is just so much we don't know about that sometimes our priority on what is real and what can be believed can get confused. I was learning so much so fast that I really didn't question something so inane as the world being flat. Of course it was, why wouldn't it be? The day that changed it forever though was when I asked my father what happens when you get to the edge of the world. He of course said the world is round like a ball. Being about 5 years old, I thought that made a lot of sense. I entertained it for a while. What convinced me the earth was a sphere was a video I came across of a group of flat earthers doing a laser test over water. They found a stretch of level water around 2 miles long, then used level lasers to measure the distance from the water. The test came back quite accurately indicating the earth was a sphere and not flat. They all got super upset and were crying about it. Seems like a doable and effective test, and their reaction, confusion and heartbreak seemed genuine. I actually love the flat earth argument. Every time I encounter an anti-vaxxer or a pandemic nut, I listen and agree. I then make them listen to my logic on how the earth is flat. Every time they respond by picking apart the flat earth logic. I then defend the flat earth and sincerely compare my proof to their proof against vaccines or COVID. They get so frustrated that I compare their point of view to something as dumb as flat earth. This is especially fun with the anti-vaccine crowd because they think they understand data and scientific research. Man, we really need this knowledge now. I don't know how we are going to reach stop the steal truthers when they already think they know more than the Supreme Court, 60 Republican and Democratic appointed federal judges, every state election commission, every Republican and Democratic governor, Trump's, now former, right-hand man and Attorney General of the United States William Barr, and the party warrior and Republican Senate Majority Leader Mitch McConnell. Somehow, we have to find a way. I was thinking the other day about whether the Flat Earth movement shows us the way out of this situation America finds itself in, because it seems to be a very similar phenomenon. Good question, OP. Serious answer here. I was really into Flat Earth, I never admitted to being 100% sure it was, because I wasn't, but I know the general aspect of how it could be possible. I'm not sure if I converted, but I just decided to stop giving it the time and attention I was dedicating it. Like there are lots of things wrong with the flat Earth theory, but there are also lots of questionable things regarding the Earth being a globe. So, for me it's more of a live and let live kind of thing. Leaving it like that, just because I don't feel like writing a whole monument script of my thoughts right now. I was the physics guy. So once, when the neighbors' homeschooled kids started asking about Earth and stuff, my wife invited them over. I had a globe, a ball that I used as the moon, a lamp that I used as the sun, the whole lesson plan. I explain about seasons, and eclipses, and day/night. I explain about the phases of the moon. After about an hour, the dad, asks me, wait, are we on the outside or in the inside of the globe? It must have been a brain fart, the guy's not an idiot, but it amazed me that this is the first he ever thought about Earth at all.